heart of Southeast Asia, life is as vibrant as ever. Streets pulse with energy, families gather over food, and dreams of progress shape urban skylines. But just below the surface, a silent crisis is squeezing millions. Every month, millions feel their bills growing larger, and their paychecks falling behind. This is the story of the Southeast Asian cost of living crunch. Of food, homes, and futures slipping out of reach. If you feel like your money isn't going as far as it used to, you're not alone. In 2025, food makes up nearly half of household spending for low-income families in Southeast Asia. But one trip to the market is enough to see prices climbing for everyone. Supply chain shocks from pandemic fallout, droughts, and global conflicts tighten supply. Imported food costs more. A simple bowl of rice and eggs, once a meal for the poor, is becoming a luxury. Housing, once the symbol of a stable future, now consumes over a third of average family income in most sea cities. In Jakarta, over 80% of homes are priced out of reach for ordinary families. In Singapore, subsidized housing keeps locals afloat, but in cities like Manila, more and more people are pushed into cramped, informal settlements. It's not just food and housing, transport, school fees, health costs, utilities, all rising. Even digital access is often a luxury. 32% of Indonesians, for example, remain offline at home, putting them one step behind in a world that's moving online faster than ever. By 2030, Southeast Asia is set to become the world's fourth largest trading bloc, home to a $4 trillion economy. But even as skylines rise, inequality grows wider. Wages, especially for manual and public sector workers, can't match living costs. Daily wage earners often earn less in real terms today than they did 10 years ago. The COVID-19 pandemic didn't just bring disease, it left lasting economic scars. Millions lost jobs, and governments borrowed to pay for relief, driving inflation across multiple sectors. Southeast Asia, once the world's rice bowl, now faces frequent shortages due to trade bans, drought, and fertilizer price shocks. Climate change amplifies it all. Farmers struggle to predict rains, harvests shrink, storms wash away entire seasons' worth of crops. In Vietnam and Myanmar, rice yields are already falling, sometimes by nearly 10% with every degree of warming. Smartphones, gig jobs, and e-payments promise new opportunity, but not for everyone. Young professionals ride the digital wave. Many older workers and low-income families are left behind. Economic policies and politics play a role. In 2025, US-China trade wars and tariffs have hiked prices for imported goods. At the same time, government subsidies on fuel and basic goods are being rolled back due to ballooning deficits. To make ends meet, millions are doing more. Side hustle once meant extra spending money, now it's essential. Digital apps have created new opportunities, but also new risks, like job insecurity, wage theft, and extreme competition. For every influencer who gets rich, thousands struggle just to break even. Communities are innovating to fill the gaps government leaves. In Bangkok, urban gardens pop up in alleyways, neighbors share vegetables. In Manila, a community pantry stocks rice, eggs, and canned fish, with a sign, "Give what you can, take what you need." While some leap forward, others slip further behind. Those with digital skills get the best jobs and best prices. For the rest, surviving is barely enough. Some reforms are underway: more rice reserves, digital economy agreements, efforts to modernize education and welfare. But for many, help seems slow arriving. Across the region, pressure is growing. Online, people share tips for budgeting and protest about high prices. Consumer Facebook groups organize group buys for bulk savings. Labor unions rally for better wages, while students march for lower school fees. Is there hope? History shows Southeast Asia's strength is in its people, their resilience, creativity, and community. But without fundamental changes, the squeeze may only get worse. From Jakarta to Yangon, Singapore to Manila, the challenge is the same. Will leaders and citizens rise together, or will more get left behind? Your story, and the story of millions like you, matters. If this documentary made you see your life or your neighbors in a new light, share it now. Join the conversation. Together, we can turn daily struggle into collective action, and small victories into a more hopeful future. Share your story below. What's the biggest price hike you've faced this year? How are you adapting? Subscribe for more stories that matter.